most men, they never actually overcome their addictions. They simply just upgrade them. They go from drinking and replace it with the gym. They go from smoking and replace it with spirituality. They go from partying and replace it with work and breath work and plant medicine ceremonies and gurus and purpose and anything that would just fill that gap, that hole that they feel. And I know this because I have done this for years, going in and out of so many different addictions, thinking that I was growing, calling it growth, but it wasn't growth, it was just distraction. So today I want to talk about that avoidance and why replacing our drug of choice never works, and what real healing actually looks like. No man will actually replace his drug of choice because he wants a better life. He does it because he still can't face his current life. Because healing isn't the absence of that drug. Healing is the presence of ourself. When you remove weed, alcohol, porn, nicotine, spiritual highs, whatever it is, the real withdrawal isn't from the substance. The real withdrawal is from the emotions which have been avoided, the truths which have been buried, the shame which hasn't been held and named, and the pain which has never been sat with. So naturally, instead of feeling those things, we just run to or pick up the next thing. My replacements, they went from weed to meditation highs, anxiety to spiritual extremes, shame to travel and chaos, loneliness to community work, numbness to plant medicine ceremonies, and collapse to performance healing. Everything looked noble. None of it was real. Addiction hides inside your identity long after the substance has gone. It's deep down in every atom, every cell, every nervous system, programming, every interaction, every relationship. It can't be hidden. Replacing one drug with another happens because men totally misunderstand what healing really is. Healing is not a peak performance or a peak experience. Healing is not a dopamine high. Healing is not a ritual or a philosophy. Healing is not a perfected routine or a perfected persona, but most men, including myself, they turn healing into some other type of performance. You stop using the drug, but you keep using the pattern of numbing, the pattern of avoiding, the pattern of distraction, the pattern of performing, of chasing intensity, chasing comfort, chasing identity, chasing validation, chasing acceptance. That's why so many men feel sorted, look sorted. They're wearing the mask of someone who's sorted, but inside they feel hollow. And every night before they go to bed, every morning they wake up, there is a sense of dread and emptiness inside. It's not that they're doing the wrong thing. They're doing the right thing, but for the wrong reason. The biggest lie that we tell ourselves as young men is that I'm doing something better because I'm doing something different. No. You're doing better when you are someone different. I wasn't healing when I was sober. I wasn't healing when I was meditating. I wasn't healing when I was traveling around 6 continents. I wasn't healing when I was serving or chanting or doing breath work or helping others. And yet, the mask, the persona, the facade, the externals of all those things look like direct, active, proactive healing. I began true, real healing the moment that I stopped running. Not when I changed the activity, but when I changed the relationship to myself. Men naturally think healing is a lifestyle. It's not. Healing is the confrontation, the martial art with oneself, where one has to take up arms, use their strength, use their skill, use their power to subdue the enemy of the self, part of the self, that part of the self which is ruling when currently it shouldn't be, and allow that part to take over which is sovereign, is supreme, does reign and should reign. Healing can be broken down into 3 pillars for simplicity. The first one is emotional literacy. If you can't name what's happening inside of you, you'll always need someone, something outside of you to help you to navigate, to make sense of that. Healing begins when you start recognizing feelings and owning them. Things like, I'm ashamed, I'm grieving, I'm scared, I'm overwhelmed, I feel empty, I don't know what to do. Most men know 3 emotional states. I'm fine, I'm angry, and I'm numb. Everything else becomes the tools, the apparatus to cover up all of those feelings. Everything else becomes the addiction. And when we step into emotional literacy, that's when we start to step into freedom. The second point is micro-honesty. Initially, this isn't online, this isn't to strangers, this isn't to our family members, our friends, our partners, it's to ourselves. Our honest sentence every morning: what's actually going on inside of me today? And an honest sentence in the evenings: what did I avoid feeling today? If you practice this, you'll stop needing something to escape yourself. You'll start to train yourself to be aware of what isn't being looked at, where your attention is being diverted, and start giving time and care and compassion and groundedness to those places which need it, which are starved of it. The third point is allowing ourselves to be unfinished. This is one of the hardest ones. It's when you stop trying to look sorted. You finally become fixable. It's when you show up on the proverbial camera of life. Not perfect, not as all of the other well-seasoned professional actors, creators, producers show up, but just as you are, without any filters, so people can see the real you. Most men, they fake progress because they're terrified of being unimpressive. They're terrified of not looking great on the proverbial camera of life. But being unfinished isn't a weakness, it's a doorway. Have you ever been in front of someone where they exude perfection and mastery, and there's no realness, there's no uniqueness, there's no flaws, and it's so hard to connect? But when you're in front of someone who is just open and genuine and honest and meets you exactly as they are. They're not locked in and fixed on eye contact the whole time. They're not stiff and rigid, but they're dynamic, they're relational. Don't you find that those people you just connect with so much better? Real healing is slow. It's unglamorous. It's non-linear. It's uncomfortable. It's incredibly private. And let's not forget, it's a blessing and it's sacred. And it's sitting with yourself where there's nowhere else left to run. It's surrendering yourself to a higher power. It's saying, I cannot do this alone. I don't have all the answers. I need help and support, as much help as I can give myself, and something beyond me, beyond this person, that person. And when we finally arrive to that place, that is a doorway into real, true healing. Healing begins the moment you say, I don't want a new distraction. I want my life back. Healing begins when you stop performing the healed version of yourself and you finally meet the real one. Your future family doesn't need performance. Your future self doesn't need performance. Your future purpose doesn't need a character. Your future self doesn't want you to look good. He wants you to be whole. He wants you to be grounded. He wants you to be connected to God, the Creator. He wants you to be supporting others, caring for others, caring for your family, caring for your loved ones, actually able to hold them as they grow and develop and facilitate magical things in their lives. If you're a man watching this thinking, wow, I do this so much in my life. I've just been replacing drug after drug, thing after thing, experience after experience. Good. That means you're waking up. Welcome to the club. You've met some like-minded people. Watch the next video in this series. Why young men are addicted to numbing and how to break that cycle. Let's rebuild honestly. Let's rebuild properly. And let's rebuild for real. I'll see you soon.